Namaste. Merry Christmas. I'm wearing my red, and this is kind of a green. You can't really see it, but underneath I got a green. See? Green. My Merry Christmas anyway to everybody. We had a great Christmas Eve dinner with family and friends. I hope yours was equally or infinitely better than ours, which was as near as perfect as you could want it to be. At the time of the initial awakening, from non-abiding to abiding, from impermanent to permanent awakening, it involved a physical, in my mind, I actually experienced, was leaping off the cliff into the abyss. And eventually, after a long experience of falling, there was a landing. I don't remember the landing in particular. What I do remember is me as an infant, newborn baby Buddha. And this was the end of my personal journey. The elusive awakening had happened. And it took me, I have a thing, Buddha years, and I'm not sure if I have to go back and look at the old, some of my old videos where it was 6 or 8 years of one Buddha year equals one human year. So by the time I was 6, I was either 32 or 48. Is that 6 times 8? Anyway, I'm not going to do the math because it's not my strong suit. I know numbers, I told you, but I sure don't know how we manipulate them. I got a hungry kitty nibbling at my feet. Go eat your kibbles. You were just so spoiled. They won a Christmas treat. Can't blame them. Anyway, the second stage was this maturing into my Buddhahood till for 6 or 8 years. I think it was probably 8 years until I felt that maybe something that I had to say would be of any value. Until this time, I kept my own counsel, played my cards close to my vest, and didn't feel like there was really much. I was kind of out of it anyway, a little bit removed from society because, your personal journey has to go within to the point of selfishness, for lack of a better term. You have to be so focused on your inner spirit, and then you come out through the heart chakra. The information comes always through the crown chakra and goes within and starts illuminating and starts till it gets to a cellular level, literally, that every cell in the body, and it's a process and it takes time. And then I woke up one morning that I felt like, hey, I'm ready to share with whoever would listen. I had no grandiose, I wasn't going to be a guru, no interest in being a guru. I had a little group was kind of gathering around me, but it was a kind of loose group because I don't like rules. And, to organize a group takes some structure. I never liked structure. But I had a small group, and fortunately out of one of them is slowly, or not so slowly, evolving to be the one that will, with maybe my counsel, if it's needed, my support and love, guarantee she will be the one that will develop more of a structure and impact more people. begin a group. Anyway, my work was done with just the one. And this was the second part, in the second stage of, first is enlightenment, awakenment, the death of the ego, the surrender. I said giving up, my Rinzai practice, I gave up like Buddha gave up, but it's also more than that, it's letting go. Giving up and letting go kind of go hand in hand. So maybe it's the same thing, but to me it was kind of everything is kind of a step, this journey to now here, or nowhere. Same destination, now here, nowhere. Yeah. Emptiness, fullness. Free will, destiny. Yes, yes, yes. Up, down, in, out, tall, short, fat, love, hate. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's all singular in the sense of not being two or more. The non-duality that was such an important part of the awakening experience, my 2.5 day experience included, but remember, it starts with surrender. And then you got, in the second stage, when you're starting ready to teach, all of a sudden, somewhere in there, start feeling your oats. I'm awakened soul, and that somehow makes me better than anybody else. And this is a spiritual ego, and it's more dangerous because you think that, well, I'm dedicating myself to a cause, but myself, you hear myself is there. And catching this spiritual ego is quite an art. But by now, hopefully by this time, you've started to listen to yourself. And listen to what your monkey mind is still cooking. My monkey mind is still cooking. So much for my Rinzai Zen of silencing the mind, escaping that the wheel of thinking. Intellect is a step above thinking. I'm talking about random monkey mind, which is always, background noise now. And it's actually entertainment. It's kind of my, it's my beat. Is that background music, monkey mind. And you know what? The monkey mind is completely content. It used to be in control. It thought it was in control. You thought it was in control. And it was all part of the Maya, the illusion of control. There's no control. It's just what it is what it is. And it's acceptance that the fact that nothing's in your control. Nothing. And yet, on the other hand, the beauty of non-dualism is, I could say, everything is equally under your control. So, nothing and everything. And that's, again, part of the initial awakening experience, that transition from non-abiding. Adya Shanti, thank you. That Nishan just passed away recently, so among the living is Adya Shanti, that I had been fortunate enough to meet in the first year of his Dharma, his practice of when he was awakened enough that he wanted to go share. I met him in the first year, beautiful memories. And my feeling for him has never changed. This kindred soul, spirit. A master, a teacher, and a friend, all wrapped up in one. And it's worth emulating. A master, a teacher, and a friend. And it's all about your being who you truly are. And what killed the spiritual ego that I talked about, the second stage, that's my green Buddha. The red Buddha, the root chakra, is the energy that you needed to, there's energy and frequency and vibration, and someone, my spirit guides, my teacher at the time, someone had to tune it like a radio station, tune the frequency so that the energy was focused. You need help at that stage, and then who it is, I attributed it to my teacher because that's how I saw it. But upon reflection, I give Bodhidharma, Dhammo, they call it here in China, and Roger Bacon, the Franciscan monk, 13th century, 12th century Franciscan monk, that were my two spirit guides. Someone tune the vibrations, like the Beach Boys, good vibrations. Somebody did that. So, second phase, and the first phase, there's that energy that it took, the red from the root, you just feel that upwelling of, so critical, and the sense of being one and feeling at home. All that energy comes from the red. So the red Buddha, and then transition into the green Buddha, where you're back to for me, it was all here, jhana yoga, the intellect, using the mind, the fine tool to sort things out, to discard the rubbish, to mine the nuggets and the jewels, to transcend. You get knowledge, and then that transition to wisdom, and wisdom is just knowing how to use the knowledge. That's what wisdom is. So wisdom is not really a higher step of knowledge. It's a higher vibration of using the knowledge. Everything is there, and it's yours for the taking, or it's yours for the giving. So green Buddha, that's the second stage, the heart, the opening of the heart. And everything I read in for the jhana yoga, the bhakti yoga, the karma yoga, and the raja yoga, or the energy, like Sadhguru talks about, the energy, the raja yoga. But especially if you use jhana yoga, which is, they say, the hardest path. The easiest path is through the heart. Through seva, through divine worship, through a guru, a love of a guru, through singing and dancing and celebrating and enjoying life and just being the reflection of unencumbered, unconditional love. But people that go through this one need to work on this one. And so second stage, the green was what it was all about. And I watched, I have 3 Buddhas on my wall in a picture. Somebody did it, and I love it, because the red Buddha, his smile is, kind of the Mona Lisa smile. And the second stage, the green Buddha, is bigger until you get to the golden Buddha, where it's just this divinity. This is when your aura becomes golden. This is when Shakyamuni, the traditional Buddha, how I experience it, asked permission. Can you imagine Buddha asking you for permission? But he did. Can I come inside you? And as soon as he did, the aura became golden. And it's my job, it's still my job, to keep my frequency high enough that he can physically, or etherically, better yet, stay in my light body. If my vibration goes too low, he goes away. And somewhere along the way, I got the blue Buddha sitting between the heart chakra and the throat chakra. The healing, the Tibetan blue Buddha, the healing, came in somewhere in that transition from red to green. So if you haven't guessed by now, I'm talking about what happens after the personal journey. And that spiritual ego that I was talking about, it has to be eliminated by honesty, by humility, by understanding how ordinary you are and how extraordinary that ordinariness is. So extraordinary ordinariness. You become steeped in the acceptance of how ordinary, because it's there for one and all, and it will be everyone's destiny when their time is right. And I'm sure they'll have another way to describe it. That'll be fun to listen to. But it's interesting to me that, it's not really through the auspices traditionally of a guru-student relationship, that we've kind of grown past the guru. And now it's your own self turning within. So this is what you need to do on this journey, is just be ordinary. Namaste, Merry Christmas.